We've just had the first Look Who's Talking event of 2011. Tonight we heard from three excellent alumni, Justice John Nicolas, Kate Eastman and Jane Sanders. These three spoke about their experiences in the judicial system and in advocacy.
We're absolutely delighted to welcome the alumni group here this evening because we have a personal relationship with the speakers tonight. Looking forward to a very interesting discussion.
One of the points of doing this is to help current students and young alumni to see where the people who they look up to, how they got to be where they are.
I was very interested in doing mooting at university, and my mooting partner, who's 6'5", the University of Melbourne team, who are also all men, were also over 6 foot. And even with my best heels on, I'm sort of just over 5. Justice Dean was a member of the bench for the mooting, and he said, "Ms Eastman, are you there?" I said, "Yes, Your Honour."
It was great to hear some speakers, particularly female speakers who are advocates. Going to the bar is something I've always considered, so it's always good to hear from women in that area.
I think I perhaps did law as a way of escaping from my fears.
And the best way to overcome those fears is to know that you've got responsibility for somebody else's case and concerns.
Certainly I didn't always want to be a lawyer. I didn't come from a family of lawyers, but always there was the advocate in me. I also had always this rage whenever I learned of any injustice.
I thought it was a really great insight into the careers of some UNSW law graduates. I was particularly interested to hear about the career of Justice John Nicolas.
I did join a small firm which was kind of being contrary to what most of my colleagues were doing. We were going straight into the large law firms.
So after I finished my undergraduate degree, I went to London to study an LLM at University College London.
I started university at UWA in Perth, and then I moved to UNSW, and I think it was particularly at UNSW with its social justice agenda that really got me going.
I used to work as a registration clerk on a part-time basis, but that was supplementing my income.
At that stage I was in my early 20s and a bit reluctant to leave my friends and my family, and also the fact that having spent 25 years in education, my father said the tap is off.
Of course, the large commercial law firms are great employers of students. It's a fantastic place to get a paralegal job or a summer clerkship, something to do in your school holidays or your days when you don't have classes. If you can get a job at one of those firms, it's great.
I really enjoyed attending the event today. I was really inspired by the speakers. They had their stories to share and how they got to where they are today, and I'm utterly inspired.
Certainly in my court, it can make for a pretty demanding life, but it's extremely rewarding.
Being able to just help people to access a system which would otherwise be completely inaccessible to them, that was a really satisfying feeling.
And you are privileged as a barrister that people entrust their cases to you, and you have the responsibility to represent them in court. And it's meant that I've been able to do a lot of interesting cases over the time that I've been at the bar.
It's an incredible diversity of work that I get to do, diversity of people that I get to work with.
We wouldn't be where we are if we hadn't in the past worked conscientiously and diligently in an endeavour to do the very best you can at whatever you do.
I agree with John that it can be arduous and tiring, but it's a wonderful job to have, and I would certainly encourage anybody to do it, and particularly we need more women.
It was a crystallisation of everything that was perhaps vaguely floating around, fell into place quite neatly.
They were three incredible examples of what alumni at UNSW are doing, and the Look Who's Talking series is an example of one of the benefits of getting involved with the law alumni at UNSW. The law alumni chapter exists to provide opportunities for law alumni to connect with each other, to connect with the faculty, and to connect with students.